Wall Street was careful at first about weighing in on the debt issue, but as the deadline approached, the country's most influential bankers began pressing D.C. for a compromise. Among them, one of the most powerful lobbyists in Washington. What does he think of the deal? Rob Nichols, president and CEO of the Financial Services Forum, joins Al Hunt and myself right now. Welcome to InBusiness, Rob.
Good morning. Thank you.
So we avoided
the powerful lobbyist.
Yeah,
please.
the most powerful. I need to talk to you about getting AC going out here. That's who I should have talked to before this. But tell me your initial read on this. We avoided default. Obviously, that's a positive. Does this deal get done, and is it a positive for your sector?
Well, we certainly hope the deal gets done. We think it's critically important that we're not downgraded and we don't have a default. I don't think those things are going to happen. We're very hopeful that those things won't happen. But really, it's not just about the financial sector. I think the real winners here will be the American families that won't see a spike in borrowing costs by getting this deal done. It's also a first step towards putting us on a fiscal path so that our addressing the long-term debt challenges, which we obviously have, and it was critically needed that we did tackle that. So we're supportive of this. We want to see it pass both bodies, of course, of Congress. We'd like to see that even happen today. Is better than tomorrow, obviously. So we're very interested in seeing this passage, and we think it's critically important.
A follow-up on that, you said this is going to help us avoid, if this gets passed, avoid higher borrowing costs.
Right.
Yet, there are some out there who still say you're going to see a downgrade in credit, and that's going to follow through. You look at the U.S. banking system, $1.5 trillion in exposures to Treasury obligations. You already have trading margin requirements changing. That's going to hurt the fixed income desk at some of those biggest banks. Can you really say at this point that costs aren't going to go up?
We don't know. Obviously, all eyes are going to be on the raters, the credit rating agencies, to see how they react to this. We just don't know yet what they'll do. They've been quiet today in terms of this particular agreement and this particular deal. So we'll see. We certainly would like not to see a downgrade. We think there's already enough headwinds in our economy, as both of you well know, in terms of the GDP number Friday, the jobs number. I mean, there are plenty of headwinds. We certainly would not like another one, and the costs that would be passed along to your average American family if we do have a downgrade. One thing I also would like to add, too, is we want to praise and applaud the bipartisan leadership that got us to where we are today. Obviously, there's been a lot of talking. It's been an extremely busy weekend, and the fact that we did get at least a bipartisan agreement negotiated, we think that is very important.
Rob, do you worry that with the weakness of the economy underscored again this morning, it really is an anemic economy, that this is a deal, whatever its long-run virtues, does nothing to address the short-term problem?
Well, it's a good first step. As I indicated, Al, it's a good first step. There's $1 trillion in cuts. Again, still reviewing the 70 pages. We're going through the details. But you have the initial $1 trillion, and then you have another $1.5 trillion that a bipartisan, bicameral group of individuals will hash out over the next several weeks and few months. So it is the fact that we are reducing our long-term debt. That is a positive. But of course, some of these details will be, I'm sure, very vocally discussed today in both houses of Congress.
How key is it that this gets passed today? What are you hearing from the bankers who you're speaking on behalf of in terms of the lobbying that's
our message has been, we've had for weeks and months, we've been meeting with members of Congress to talk about the economic and market implications of inaction. We've been doing letters. There have been several letters that various business groups, not just the financial sector, the industrial sector, the manufacturing sector, there have been numerous letters from the whole swath of the business community urging this to get done. I think you'll probably see more letters throughout the course of today, would be my guess, now that there has been an agreement reached late last evening. So we think it's critically important to get it done today, and that's a message that we've been conveying to lawmakers for weeks and months now.
This isn't done.